Good morning, friends. This is Captain, that 3-year-old Oak Creek gelding that I showed on the last video. He had only had the pack saddle on before, not the full paniard. So here you get to see, in a matter of opportunity, that I was out there with the camera watering some horses when he was putting the paniards on him for the first time. He came in with kind of a chip on his shoulder. Those horses are kind of learning over on that Oak Creek side that everything is on their terms. People come in and deliver them hay, and they get to pet them as long as the horse decides they want to let them. But the horse is calling all the shots, and so they kind of developed a little bit of a different attitude than we used to see from them. So that's what we were dealing with Captain a little bit also. He tended to want to run the show always and question whether or not you were really the one in charge, and he was a little big for his britches. So like I said, this is the first time ever with the paniards on him. They were empty, so of course they would move and make some noise, and it was nice because he could see them from both eyes, similar to a rider, and they were moving with his body, and he's doing really good. I can't recall how many weeks, maybe 2 weeks were in between that last video and this video. And we had to get a little bit tough with him. I mean, we were fair. We always try to be fair. But he just had such a chip on his shoulder that he really needed to find a different frame of mind. That way he was kind of more receptive to learning rather than trying to just work on running the show. And in doing so, of course, that type of behavior can be pretty dangerous. Now here soon you're going to see a prime example of my lack of professional video skills. And that's Old Rascal that Jeremy's riding. It's a colt we raised out of a mare we bought from Missouri. She was already bred and in foal with him. Came from Crossfur Quarter Horses, and we bought the mare for that foal, that red roan horse he's riding. And he sure as heck is not disappointed. Now here comes some action, which that's okay. It's to be expected. I mean, heck, this is the first time he's ever experienced something like this, and he thought he was a pretty big, tough dude. And you kind of have to bend the wire back the other direction and let him get into some pickles so that he realizes that he might kind of need to look to the human for some support someday and not just leave town when he gets scared about something. But also in saying that, he has to have something that he can look to for trust and support. And when he wants to get upset or worried, you got to make sure that you are that solid support system for them, which is what Jeremy gets paid the big bucks for, I guess. Anyway, back when all that little commotion was going on and there was a cut in the video, I didn't mean to turn it off, darn it, but thankfully I got it turned back on quick enough, so you didn't miss but a couple of seconds. Like I was saying, I was wanting to give Old Rascal props there. Rascal's the red roan horse, because doggone it, not only do you need to have the tools and the equipment and the partner and the skills to be able to get horses through some stuff sometimes. That horse never bobbled, never wavered. Old Captain there can get as upset as he wants, and Rascal will be there at the end, just the same as Jeremy. And that's what helps give these horses confidence in scary situations. We were real thrilled we got this on video because it's a really nice example of a little bit of a tight spot, but how the horse worked through it and how Jeremy and his horse helped the horse through it. And there's no reason to turn up the volume on him. You know, it's a new situation, so of course he might get a little bit upset, but you know, sometimes we get horses into training and they're pretty troubled because a person wants to train them themselves, and that's great. I get it. I'd want to do the same thing, but boy, you really need to make sure you have a trusted professional in your corner that you can have help you out before you get yourself into a pickle that you can't fix or you can't handle. So one of his panniers had come loose there a little bit, so he was just putting it back. It's all good. I mean, nothing's going to work out perfectly. He was bouncing around, and so of course that pannier came loose a little bit, but it was good for him to sort the whole thing out and then to have Jeremy fussing with it and moving it, but yet he's there to support him. He's scared about it. And the horse has already pretty quickly figured out that Jeremy's there to take care of him, and I think that helps to why he's responding so quickly. We didn't expect him to kind of come around and turn the corner as quick as he did and get with the program. And as far as learning, picking up his pencil, he was just throwing spitwads still for a long time. So he was kicking the pannier a little bit there, just bumping it just to make some noise and see how he handled it and move his feet. No big deal. Now let's work on the other eye. Real nice. We were real happy to get this on video. And hopefully I'll get all the way through this voiceover without them coming up to the house and disturbing me and making me feel funny. Then I have to stop and start over again. That's what takes so long about getting these videos posted. There's his trusted Cass, his good working cow dog there that is not allowed in the corral. But you can see how strict he is. I think there's once or twice you might hear me holler at her to get out. Of course, the last thing you want to be doing is getting all upset and twisted up by something outside of what you're working on, and then that just adds more angst that you don't need in this already tense situation working with a new horse. That was pretty slick. He's been through those noodles before, but not when it was touching his load. Jeremy's got this monstrous log that we never did cut up into firewood. Seems to serve a purpose perfect obstacle in his arena. And he'd gone over it 100 times, but not with the pack saddle on him and the panniers. And of course, they flop and bang and move and make funny noises every time he jumps over. So that was just something he had to get used to. I guess something to note, too, is he got pretty good about giving to the lead rope and not dragging him around. And that was given the lesson that he had when Jeremy very first got a hold of him in that first video I posted. Now see here, Jeremy even said, he says, I could have dallied him up and drug him across, but that's not his way of doing things. He wants the horse to think about it and the horse to get it accomplished on his own accord. So many times it's about just having the skills to get it done and the patience to wait him out. And he wasn't scared. He'd gone over it already. You saw that. He just, this is him kind of showing his colors again and saying, no, I don't want to. He doesn't see a purpose in it. So he just decided he didn't want to. So of course we're going to have to finish that and make it happen. Now I say make it happen. Jeremy would say let it happen. I guess that's why he's the trainer and not me. I probably would have dallied him up and drug his ass across. See my patience level? I went over and helped because I wanted to see him be successful and get it done and not be able to say no. But it ended okay.